everybody? It's your boy Cesar with Cesar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about 4 different grayscale trusts today: BCHG, LTCN, ETH, and GDLC. For Goofy Titan, Quiet Dawn, Chad Shee, and Eric Solorio. Let's get this started. Man, I had to restart this video. I literally made a rant for about 20 minutes, and I had to restart it. And I'm going to try my best not to rant right now, but I'm going to be dad for a minute, and then we're going to get into the TA, okay? I'm going to be dad by saying, and I'm going to try not to rag on anybody. I'm not ragging on you, but I am a little bit disappointed in how some people have been handling their positions with BCHG and LTCN. I've had more than a few comments from people that have been telling me that they sold in the last couple days, okay? Not once, not that this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, okay? You're big boys, you're big girls, you make your own decisions, you do what you want. If my opinion influences that or helps you gauge your own opinion, like, cool, whatever. But you're still the one making your own decisions. I would hope that you look into it yourself and you do what feels right to you. But not once over the past 2 days have I recommended that anybody sell. And I've gotten a lot of comments telling me that you have sold. There's more than a few of you that have sold. Even though I've said, yes, I think the price is going to go lower, that does not equal I think it's a good time to sell. In fact, the only time that I said that I think it's a good time to sell was when right before we had this breakout. I said, I believe if you even watch the video from whenever we were up here, like the last video that I made before we had this drop, I believe I even said it exactly like this. I don't normally recommend selling. I don't normally talk about it, but this probably is a good area if you wanted to sell. If you bought the top and you sell here, you probably will get a chance to buy lower. I haven't said anything like that down here. I've said we probably do go lower. Yeah, I'm thinking that we do, but that doesn't equal sell. I know I've said that at this point, if you didn't sell, that I wouldn't sell now. I would just buy more as it goes lower. And the reason for that is exactly what happened today. For the people that sold the last couple days, I'm very nervous for you. This is why I went on a rant, man, because if you don't have the emotional wherewithal to hold through this, I'm very nervous for you, and assuming that some of you might have FOMO'd in and bought at the top. So not only did you sell for a loss, or like you sold low, like relatively low, from like the recent price action, but you also bought high. You sold low and then you bought high, and now you're really in a shitty situation. And I hope nobody's in that. I hope if anything, you sat on your hands and you just, you watched it go up and then you watched it go down, and you're like, whew, I got lucky on that one. But not once have I recommended that you sell since we've broken down, and not once would I. If anything, you buy more on the way down. That's it. If you miss your chance to sell up here, you suck it up, you own it, and you wait. You just wait patiently, because why would you play the game with something that right now is at $3.82, even if it was at $5? Why would you play the game with something like that has price targets from high here to low here? The extension, the minimum extension is all the way at $250. The 1618 is at $1,500, and I think that is even possible. I'm not saying that I would put money on that happening, but I would give it a pretty decent chance of happening, man, like a 20% chance of happening. No, that's not likely, but that's still a pretty decent chance, man. If you told me I had a 20% chance of making $1 million on something, I'd be like, well, sign me up. What do I got to do? That's pretty decent chances right there, man. And that's insane gains. From $3.82 to up there, you're going to play the game with something like that? Like, at no point, and it upsets me a little bit, because I know that the people that sold down here are going to say, well, you said it was going to go down, so I sold based on... It's like, no. I said it was going to go down, but at no point was I saying sell. You need, and this is where it, unfortunately, it falls on you as the investor, as the speculator, as someone who is probably new to the markets, to understand what the terminology means. Just because I'm saying something's going down does not mean that I think it's a good time to sell. In fact, I think the only time at all, like recently, that I've talked about selling and telling, like not advising, but being like, this is a decent area to sell, was before this drop for BCHG and for LTCN and ETH. I remember I made a video saying that. I was like, this might be a last chance to sell if you wanted to sell. But I'm pretty sure even then I was like, not that I would recommend selling. You do what you want to do. But I did say if you wanted to sell, this would be your last chance. And if it went down, you'd have to accept it. And at that point, just wait, because it'll come back up. It'll be fine. I know I said all that, man. I know I did. Oh, and you can see why I went on a rant for a long time. I'm going to get into the TA. I just want to say, if anybody sold down here and you bought up here, you're in a very bad situation right now. And I don't know what to tell you, man. I would say this. For anybody that's bought, that's holding BCHG or LTCN right now, don't play the game. You have very big gains ahead of you. I don't care if you bought low and you sold high and then you bought back, if you bought high and then you sold low and then you bought back high again, whatever your dilemma is, just sit on it because it's all going to come back. You might not get the same gains that you would have had if you were just patient, but the price will go back. It'll go up. It'll probably go to $250, if not more. There's a decent chance of it going even above $1,000. So why play the game? Make your purchases. None of what I'm saying is financial advice, but if any of it could be, it would be this part right here. Whatever, if you're holding LTCN or BCHG, sit on it for a year. Don't play the game. Don't mess around with it, especially if you're new. If you have less than 5 years of experience in markets, don't mess with it. Just sit on it. You will make a lot more money that way, and you won't be having any headache. Because I promise you, man, I don't even know. But out of the people that have told me they sold the last 2 days, I'm sure there are a lot of people who are feeling heartache right now, that are feeling that gut-wrenching feeling. And I don't know what to tell you, man. I've been there before. It sucks. You will make it back. It sucks. It's really hard sometimes, man. But my best advice, if I had any advice, would be sit on your hands. Make your purchases and sit on your hands. With that being said, let's get into the TA. Because I hope I made sense. I hope I wasn't coming across as a dick, but this is serious, man. You're messing with things that you just shouldn't mess with. Like, absolutely you shouldn't mess with. You've got a golden ticket here. Why are you selling it? Okay? You missed your chance to sell it. Suck it up and own it. Sit on your hands. Let it go lower even. Buy more. And then watch it come back up, and then you're fine. You'll forget about this dump in 3 months, guys. It seems so big right now. It's such a big deal right now, but that's how markets are. Most markets are made to take most of the money from most people most of the time, especially people who are new. That's how it happens, okay? Let's get into the TA. BCH is pumping right now. The one thing that has me nervous for anybody that's sold and played this game like rambunctiously here is that BCH is pumping. BCHG and BCH can run independent of each other. They absolutely can. But man, it puts you in a bad situation. I'm very curious to see how BCHG is going to open up the day tomorrow because, yes, I have been calling for lower prices. I have. And yes, we've had a little bit of a drop so far. And the prices that I'm calling for are below $2. That's where I'm expecting it to go. I can be wrong. I can very well be wrong. I've been wrong before. I will be wrong again. Okay? And sometimes things change. If we look at this on a daily basis, we take this away here, and we get this going. Let's see. Something like that. I don't know, maybe. No, like this, sorry. I mean, I would think that we go lower. I would. But again, anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. Even though BCH is pumping, I would still think that this is going to go lower. And where do I think it's going to go? Those price targets haven't changed, man. I haven't seen enough to convince me that we're going to pump yet. We've had a couple days of crazy price action, sure, but it's not enough to scare me out of my boots, right? You have to be very calm. You can feel the FOMO, but don't act on it, right? And this, for anybody that acted on it, I hope this is a lesson. At least you're learning it early in the markets, and maybe you'll stand to gain from it. Maybe next time you'll be like, man, that wasn't fun at all. I'm not going to do it again. Why do I think it's going down here? Well, you're finding resistance in a previous area of support, okay? Confirming support as resistance in this area would make sense to me. If we take this high to this low, you're on a closing basis here, you're at your 1618 extension. Find resistance in your 1618 extension. It would make sense to go at least to your 886, which is below 250. Your 618 is all the way down here below $2, and your green line's there too. On your overall fib, your 382 is at like $1.74. I very much believe that it is possible still to at least go below 250, with like the ultimate like low target that I'm looking for being below $1.70 or no, $1.80, but it doesn't have to hit there. I very much am confident still that the price will go below 250. But just because I'm confident in that doesn't mean it has to. You would close this gap, which would be nice. That'd be encouraging. You'd be finding support on a previous area of resistance, which would make sense. And then you'd continue to build higher, which is nice. And again, the reason why it's not a good time to sell is, yes, it might seem scary and infuriating, and you might get that feeling in your stomach. But if you just look away for like a month or two, it'll be back with a vengeance, man. You'll forget all about this dump that's happening. You'll forget all about it if you just close your eyes and wait. You'll even feel better about it if, as we move down, you buy more. Okay, and that's all I got for you on BCHG. It looks, as far as the RSI goes, it looks like it wants to go lower. Hold on now. Bouncing off the 40 is not encouraging. You did that last time, and look at what happened, right? You continued to move up. Different kind of circumstances, I suppose. You could bounce off the 40. We've been seeing a lot of that lately. Generally, with strong moves, you do that. Better hope, and I hope that the price does go lower for anybody that's looking to buy lower. I really do. But with how BCH is moving, don't be surprised if this thing moves up. And the thing is, as crazy as it can be, this thing could move up and then it dumps, right? It could break out to new highs, new yearly highs, make you FOMO at the top, and then it gets that dump that you were waiting for. Like, this is why you don't play the game, because it's very confusing sometimes, man, especially if you're in it for the long haul. If you're in it for the long haul, don't forget that you're in it for the long haul. But that's all I got to say for BCHG, man. I'm sorry I was being dad for so long, and I'm sorry it wasn't so much TA, but, man, I was genuinely, I am shocked at how many people sold.